Dialogues with Aeon, from before he deleted his YouTube channel. Part 1. Aeon's post.
When you think you're out, they pull you back in. Such is prison life. The video I made was almost 4 minutes long, and the max length of a short is 3 minutes, so I had to remove some info. Shorts have better reach than regular videos. And now I'm going to get the youngest forms of consciousness mad at me and declare that I'm spreading doom and gloom, demonstrating filtering information through their feelings. They are processing information through feelings, emotions, and beliefs, thus distorting the raw information and then get mad about it. Always talking about fear. No, I don't have fear. Maybe the fear of reincarnating back here, maybe. They have fear and only want to hear things that make them feel good and safe. The feels. Always wanting us to conform to their expectations, to phrase things so their feelings and emotions are satisfied and not triggered. I am not going to give in to the very programs that enslave you, feelings and emotions. You have to do the work, put in effort, and stop expecting others to conform to you, even communicating your way because your pee-pee hurts. Well, fuck your pee-pee.
Aeon wrote to me.
I saw that you triggered a few people by stating facts to and about Tina from the Dark Matrix channel. Lie to them and they will love you, tell them the truth and they will hate you, because they filter information through feelings and emotion. It's always about the feels. The first time I watched her channel, I already sensed distortions. She also referred to us as humans. Her channel avatar is a distortion. She says YouTube did it. No, YouTube gives you a letter of your name, not a picture. The picture at the back of a child, maybe, is also a distortion, staring into your soul. And she goes out of her way to be nice, persona. I never trust people like that. To me is deceptive. I watched a few seconds from the last video they put out of her and her husband just to sense them. He is mellow, comes across as hypnotized, but she is angry, very angry, but she is masking it well. Normies won't pick it up. Distortions resonate with distortions. We are perfections. We like beautiful things, cool things. We don't like distortions, inversions. I know that you don't believe me when I say most people serve the Matrix, but one day you will come to this conclusion.
Dialogues with Aeon, from before he deleted his YouTube channel. Part 2. Aeon wrote.
There are entities here playing human. Sensing their true intentions is very difficult, only possible when fully relaxed. The neutral state, pure observer mode. But it depends on your state in that moment, that day. It's the usual things we discussed. Don't analyze, that's a physical thing. Watch the podcast or whatever you're viewing or need info on in pure observer mode, present, aware, and focused on it without thoughts, needs, wants, or desires. Be like a camera filming a wall, it just observes, has no needs, doesn't judge, wants nothing. You'll access or sense hidden information. If you've had a bad day, it's hard. Relaxed state, just observe their avatar, surroundings, and words the face struggles to match. Don't think, just observe. Otherwise, you distort it by filtering info, creating a subjective scenario, not objective. Fully relaxed neutral state, present, aware, focused without thinking, just pure observation. I know, my friend, it's the physical, it sucks.
Dialogues with Aeon, from before he deleted his YouTube channel. Part 3. NDE Research Project begins by asking Aeon, I know you said it'd be your last video, but would you be up for making a video on Eden? E.g. inhabitants, if they're all extensions of you, and if so, how you program them, flora and fauna, landscapes, buildings, entertainment, etc. I notice I still have too much a human perspective, so hearing from you is tremendously helpful.
Sorry, my friend, but that's not possible, even if I did my absolute best. Eden was mostly built from all outside this realm. As good as my visualizations are, and as vivid and detailed as they are, I could never do it from here. What I did from here is the basics and everything I could within that. As I said, it's a universe, the main planet Aeon. I created its capital city, Nerva, a cool crystal castle in the middle, a star destroyer and the USS Enterprise in the sky, and the space station Elysium orbiting the planet. Near Nerva is the city of the giants, real giants 1 kilometer tall. A teen giant who likes to give people rides on his shoulder, I call him George. Near Nerva is Pandora, a very cool place. And I thought that I wanted endless alien worlds without any visualization. I got familiar with all this, and it became home away from home. Then, from the non-physical and physical but outside this realm, in the hypnagogic my will be done, always. All my desires, wants, and needs are instantly manifested there. The endless alien worlds with ecosystems beyond human imagination are absolutely breathtaking. All the colors of the light spectrum are there, colors that don't exist here. Like I said, impossible to describe from here. The physical is so limited, infinitely so. Also, if I saw something cool here inside this realm that I wanted in Eden, I would say, I want that in Eden. My will be done, always. For example, things like this from Pinterest. Sorry, my friend, this isn't what you wanted. I can't describe it in human terms beyond this.
That sounds wonderful. I find the picture and video you linked inspiring too. As you wrote, if I saw something cool here inside this realm that I wanted in Eden, I would say, I want that in Eden. My will be done always. That's a great shortcut. I'll use that for my own universe when I see something I like. I was thinking of having areas of my own universe where extensions of myself have their own realms on the main planet. And in some of these realms, they are inventing new textures, new colors, new tastes, just potions, as there is no food chain, and new games that they're developing. Then they trade these amongst each other, such as trading new games. Then I remembered Robert Monroe's astral travel experience, where he was hearing about Lush for the first time. During that interaction, Monroe was also told that another major thing that's traded in non-physical dimensions are games. That makes sense to me. As an eternal creator being with no needs, what does one want? Game's fun.
Yes, my friends, if you see something you like here, add it there. It's easy because that's an emotional reaction, and just outside this realm, it's still somewhat physical. Emotions play a huge role. Use them to your advantage. I got all the lores from games and movies I like. Inside Eden, there's a multiverse, the Witcher universe, Mass Effect, Elder Scrolls, and much more. I got the universe of madness, every DC and Marvel hero versus every DC and Marvel villain, total insanity. I also got Star Wars, Darkness Descends, my own take where Jedi and Sith must unite against a dark interdimensional force more powerful than anyone can imagine. They've destroyed 2 galaxies so far and feed on light illumination. The sun shines, yet darkness reigns. They devour Force users, they call them Force Eaters. A very cool, living, breathing universe. I got the meme verse too hilarious. Living, breathing memes. I mock everything from here. There's the new Superman, B on his chest, Super Beta Man. An African reporter interviews him, "Why are you gay?" LOL. I copied that interview. Haven't seen it? Classic.
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr? Sure. Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender,
Yes,
and you're
I
a gay
am.
rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you? Now, we're looking at the raging debate. You're a gay rights activist. Why should someone be gay? You're having a girlfriend.
Yes.
Do you perform the natural obligations?
I'm not sexually active right now.
So what are
By
you doing with
choice.
this lady?
By choice.
By choice.
Yeah. I've just not. I've chosen not to engage.
Doesn't that make you gay?
What do you mean? Doesn't that make me gay? I am male and attracted to a female.
So who is gay?
I'm gay.
There is no death in Eden, no pain or suffering, no dependencies. It wouldn't be Eden otherwise. Food and drinks are for pleasure, with no dependencies or negative effects. Nothing affects the avatar. Eden is endless to the human mind. And yes, my friend, we are gamers through and through. We didn't create existence to be serious about it, but to play.
I'll check out the video. Interesting that you created some aspects I did, but on a grander scale. In my universe, on the Prime planet, I have a continent based on Witcher 3, another area of the planet based on Elder Scrolls, one continent as a randomized terrain for a colonization game, another continent for where there is simply fun in game development realms, such as a realm with enormous water slides going from the top streams of mountains, going down through wondrous landscapes, landing in small lakes with majestic views. Then other slides one can go down to the next lakes, etc., all the way down to the sea. On the other side of the planet are spaceport continents, based on Star Wars, Star Trek, and Dune 2 Battle for Arrakis. There one can get an e.g. a TIE fighter and fly off to any planet in the universe one wants to, have adventures, etc., but beyond my Prime planet. I haven't had the scope to create anything specific. When you say you have, say, a Witcher universe, how do you program that universe exactly?
Very nice, my friend. I warn those universes separate from Eden itself. I have a few elements like the Star Destroyer and USS Enterprise, etc., but what I mentioned are in their own universe. Programmed? My friend, you think so human. LOL. I copied what I saw exploring other worlds in person, just me, awareness through the matrix. No body, no density. I entered a world, an avatar auto-created. From outside, it looked like a big vibrating water bubble. Multiverses are like that bubble in Eden but invisible to preserve the beauty of Eden. When you wish to enter one of these universes, that bubble appears. I didn't program anything. It's my will, what I wanted, created. Visualize it in your universe, visualize entering it and seeing whatever universe you want. Look inside, then return to your universe. My will be done, always.
I think I understand just the second sentence. I warn those universes separate from Eden itself. Is that a typo? Because I don't understand that.
Each universe is its own, not taking place within Eden. Each is a living, breathing universe separate from Eden itself, accessed only from Eden.
Thanks, that's a good idea. And what I meant by programming does sound very human, but maybe one could say intent. It would be too much for me to create every aspect of one large island in a sea, aspect by aspect, let alone an entire universe. So I'm wondering what you intend, if you could put it into language. E.g., I will into being a universe based on the Elder Scrolls. It has an infinite number of worlds to explore. As I will, so be it. Would that be a decent intention as a foundation? Then maybe add extra aspects you want. E.g., there's a planet where the Nord homeworld is, etc., etc. Do you know what I'm trying to get at? Language doesn't do it justice, I know, but just to have an idea.
Yeah, you can add what you want, my friend. Most times, no words, I visualize and intend here, strong intent and hypnagogic state. My will be done, always. P.S. Have you seen this?
According to him, it had been staged by a hidden intelligence that he called ECHO, short for the Earth Coincidence Control Office.
But it means to me the Earth Coincidence Control Office, which is one of God's field offices. And ECHO runs our lives, though we won't admit it. And if you're an ECHO agent, you can be very, very careful to use your best intelligence in ECHO's service. And you realize there are no discoveries, there are only revelations. And that was a come down for the scientist, me as a scientist.
He said they didn't just pull strings during his accidents, they also seemed to manipulate everyday life, meetings with strangers, lucky breaks, and even moments of life-saving timing. To Lilly, this was no coincidence, it was ECHO's design. He described this agency as both playful and serious, teaching him lessons by setting up elaborate situations. If he ignored the lessons, ECHO would push harder, sometimes to the point of risking his life. To outsiders, it might sound like paranoia, but Lilly insisted these patterns were too precise to be chance. He felt he was in constant dialogue with a hidden system, almost as if reality itself had a control office sending him coded messages through coincidences.
Here's coincidence control. It's coincidence control what they do. And they say, we control the long-term coincidences, you control the short-term ones, and when you find out how we do the long-term ones, you no longer have to remain on Earth, you don't have to return.
That's odd. I hadn't seen that short on your channel before. It only just seems to have appeared on your channel as far as I can see, as I made sure to watch all the videos you made. By the way, did you see the video I just uploaded on Transcending Thought?
I had it private. I'm conflicted. I fluctuate between wanting people to know and not wanting to contribute to creating energizing these scenarios. So far, when thought-free, videos go private. When in matrix thinking mode, I think, fuck it, people should know. Big clue right there. I need more awareness for a definite conclusion. Your video's good, but huge, but you're downplaying it. You don't go hard against thoughts that are still good. Nope, not at all. Imagine always being thought-free, connected to the field. The possibilities.
Dialogues with Aeon, from before he deleted his YouTube channel. Part 4. Aeon begins by writing to NDE Research Project.
Your video's good, but huge, but you're downplaying it. You don't go hard against thoughts that are still good. Nope, not at all. Imagine always being thought-free, connected to the field. The possibilities.
As I think Spock said to Kirk, logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end. I will test being without thought for a week, repeat it, then report my results. If the experiments show you are correct, I will make a video decisively against thought. Just to clarify, you consider even logical thought to be a primitive tool, much like a pickaxe that can be used to escape past the prison walls, but not suited for swimming with a heavy pickaxe over the moat to a spaceship, waiting for oneself on the other side? A rough analogy. But if I do make a video resoundingly against thought, is that a helpful metaphor for viewers to understand? P.S. Thank you for sharing. If I remember correctly, you consider your guide to mean well, but was actually giving bad advice, and in that way the guide was actually evil. Is that correct?
The analogy is good, my friend, for human understanding. But I think the non-physical can only get you out of the physical by letting go of it all. Of course, I could be wrong about that. Intelligence, logic, are matrix tools to help you navigate this world, to make sure you don't microwave your iPhone. They don't exist in the real world, as you are connected to everything that is and ever could be. There's nothing there to be intelligent about, if you know what I mean. Of course, dropping intelligence logic while here would be foolish. So yeah, your analogy works. P.S. No, my friend. As I had no concept of good and evil, nor of deception, lies, manipulation, and so on, none of them exist in the real world, I believed her without question.
And that's the problem, isn't it? In our natural state, we seem to be overly naive. As I told you before, that was what I saw when I was in a higher dimension in the astral, and asked myself how I originally came to the physical dimension. I saw myself as a sort of formless entity that was playful and extremely naive. So if one believes others without question, that's potentially a huge problem. And that is where learning does come into play, in my opinion. We need to make sure we never fall for agreeing to incarnate ever again. Keeping one's memory is important, and maybe using logic occasionally, or the equivalent of logic without thinking, just a knowing perhaps. I don't know. What's your impression?
Yeah, we are very naive in our natural state, well, pure consciousness, untainted. A huge problem here, yes, but it has no basis in reality. In 2017, I sensed something powerful, very real, very much alive. Along with the visual I saw, existence itself is in extreme pain. It was screaming in pain. And the cause was intelligent life. I didn't understand it then, and I still don't understand it now. I've got assumptions, but that's all. Memories imply the passage of time. As we know, time is an illusion. Yes, just a knowing, understanding. Having that understanding while here and keeping it while home. P.S. One thing to note. As infinites, we didn't have infinite awareness, it seems. As I was not aware of this place and these entities prior to coming here. And I want it. I want infinite awareness. My will be done, always.
New discussion. Aeon wrote all the following.
But what I know is that the first avatar our people were trapped in was a tree. That's why they referred to us at first as the tree of life, the energy that energizes everything from reacting emotionally under stress. Then came animals and human avatars. I strongly recommend nobody eat vegetables. It does weaken the avatar, making it susceptible to influence, even control. I communicated with the planets once and found out that the same code found in animals and human avatars is in plants. They feel happiness, joy, pain, and suffering. They scream in pain when hurt, a frequency not picked up by the human avatar. All the channels have been told by their guides to stop eating meat and go vegan, as far as Dolores Cannon. She said once that one of the beings got upset with her for not following its advice to stop eating meat. I just went back to the moment I entered this construct to answer your question better than I did in my ghosted comment. As I said many times, good and bad, evil, deception, lies, manipulation are only part of this interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. They have no basis in reality. Why would they exist in the real world? The real world is perfection, pure harmony. They are only part of this game. Now, here comes a possibility. The game might have been hijacked by NPCs, our creations, because we made them sentient for an immersive experience. They are afraid that if we leave, poof, they cease to be. This is the first conclusion I came to before I came across so many other possibilities and probabilities that could be just as likely. To expand on creation, remember, my friend, reality is a reflection of your internal state. If internally you are chaotic, if you have fear, doubt, anger, or if you are unsure of yourself, your creations will reflect that. I do it from a harmonious state, even neutral. I really like harmony, it reminds me of home. Even on my 1-liter water bottles in the fridge, I have harmony written on them. Harmony removes distortions.
Dialogues with Aeon, from before he deleted his YouTube channel. Part 5. Various topics that Aeon was writing about. I only have what Aeon wrote, as that was what was really important, and one can understand the context from Aeon's comments anyway.
Everyone wants their subjective reality to be objective. It isn't and never will be. Pleiadians, School, Galactic Federation, Starseed believers, Christians, Law of One, Muslims, etc., believe their subjective reality is true and want it to be universal. Believe what I believe. People resist hearing their beliefs are subjective, not objective, because it feels less real. This causes tension between belief systems. Groups can create a shared reality, but it's only objective to them. No one wants to accept existence as subjective, fearing loss of purpose. Enjoy your beliefs, but don't impose them on others. The soul trappers are partially distinct in the discussion of subjectivity versus objectivity. They differ because they know they are imprisoned against their will. Their desire is to leave, this is their will, yet they cannot, which appears objective in this realm. However, issues arise when they create belief systems based on their inability to leave, thus creating the feeling of imprisonment. Their belief in archons and lush will result in that experience, which is subjective. As I mentioned before, yes, there is something at play here, something or someone is holding us here against our will. But it cannot be resolved through belief systems, as beliefs are a detriment to us all. I've concluded we should not focus on what is, what happened, or any of that. It's a waste of time because there's no truth to be found here, only deception, and we experience what we believe. You'll end up trapping yourself in another illusion. A self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, focus solely on your infinite self. Go within, stay fully aware, present, with no thoughts, to connect with your infinite self. Once you're your true self again, possessing infinite, multidimensional understanding and having accessed your abilities, then you can address the who, how, and why when you can actually do something about it. Entering an objective realm like Earth likely means agreeing to its terms and conditions, fixed rules that limit subjective control. You can't just barge into someone's reality and rearrange their cosmic furniture. LOL. Ironically, I am attempting to do just that. As of now, I am done trying to raise awareness about these things. They are clearly beyond the human mind's comprehension, and I only frustrate myself and others. It's a waste of time and energy. People need to get there themselves. It is beyond everyone's comprehension. No, they won't start to see it from hearing words, absurd. Until they go beyond the human matrix mind, they won't understand, and never will. How many are willing to go beyond the mind, thought-free, inward in the present moment most of the time? If they have fear and keep talking about it, they're at a very low level. At the bottom. They have fear because they don't know what they are, they know nothing, really, and process information through feelings, emotions, and beliefs. Childish. Thinking you can understand the non-physical through the human mind, which is extremely limited by design, is absolutely absurd. Sometimes I eat once a day for 6 days, then nothing for 5 days, and I'm not hungry. Sometimes for 2 weeks, I eat once every 48 hours. I always order pizza, for pleasure, not hunger, of course. LOL, a normie is giving me advice. You just stumbled upon the smallest community inside the Earth realm. We have knowledge and understanding most people here could not possibly fathom. We have been exploring outside the Earth realm and the non-physical in person for years. I know to you it sounds like a lie or hallucinations or drugs or whatever the Matrix mind programming defense system can conjure. Imagination. Well, yeah. It's a simulation. I recommend listening to the whole podcast. He relies on the intellect to understand existence. He won't, and never will. It's just not possible. The intellect is tarred. It's only good for navigating this physical illusion, nothing more. It has no basis in reality. People want to be right, not correct, there's a difference. They want to be right even if they're wrong.
Dialogues with Aeon, from before he deleted his YouTube channel, Part 6. NDE Research Project begins a dialogue by writing. The more I reflect on it, the safer it seems to have a massive wave of destruction outwards from oneself upon disincarnation. then intend with willpower to go to one's protected realm instantly. Before disincarnation, I guess it'd be a good practice to use one's protected realm as a base, then go on raids, visiting astral realms close to the physical and attempt to destroy them, destroying absolutely everything there. No mercy. If we show mercy, the entities can use that as an open door to love bomb and mind control. If you have any advice regarding this, it'd be much appreciated. Otherwise, I guess you've taught us enough of your insights and techniques for us to cause a lot of damage to the system and to free ourselves. Thank you for your efforts.
These videos are for those at low to mid levels, those who think like humans. To you and a very few, I can recommend other things. I nuked 2 constructs like a human. I wanted that satisfaction. They were full of dark entities. I stood in the middle as it went off. After the physical destruction of a nuke, it became a white canvas with just me and my temporary avatar. LOL. We can't be harmed, obviously impossible unless you want to believe it. 2 constructs nuked completely, annihilated, and I was just standing there. That satisfied the human need. But most things I do are as infinites do. You're limited only by you. Just wish to erase a construct and it will be so. No need to do it like a human, unless you want that satisfaction. I don't know what exactly you mean by raid. I go in and do or take whatever I want. I am infinite, nobody can stop me. But for me, it was always empty of beings whenever I entered a construct, a ghost town. Beings flee on arrival. That a raid? Erase. 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 Will it all? It seems to me that you always act from a place of fear and limitations. Why? Always talking about defenses and shields. Why would an eternal infinite need such things? You have doubt. As I said yesterday, my friend, never doubt what you are and what you can do. Doubt is your kryptonite. And here, my friend, comes the awful truth we all keep avoiding. We're fighting simulated foes in a simulated reality to escape the simulation. Trying to escape the simulation by playing simulated escape games. We wage war against phantoms in a phantom realm, seeking liberation from the illusion through illusions of liberation. Absurdity incarnate. It's all one huge, bad joke.
I wonder how one could eliminate or at least disable someone somewhere as Monroe described the demiurge. As there must be some sort of twisted mind behind the prison system. So eliminate that and all comes crashing down deleted, or at least it would do a lot of damage.
If there were such a thing as the demiurge, let's pretend there is. No, none of you could do it. None of you could take it out, because of the nature of existence. You must understand how existence works and have fully mastered yourself to do such a thing. You must be fully in control of feelings, emotions, and thoughts, and have zero belief systems at all times. Complete mastery of all that. Because, as I said, the nature of existence, the field responds to our will. So, you want to find the demiurge and fight it? The field will give you the demiurge to fight. It will be subjective, not objective. It wouldn't be the real demiurge. As I said, you need to be in complete mastery of yourself and look for this objective force, without looking for it. If you know what I mean. It's not as simple as that is the bad guy, let's get him. If only. People don't understand how the field works. They think it's sentient. It is not. It is like a toddler. It sees you keep focusing on something and gives you that which you are focusing on. It doesn't understand words. You can keep saying, I don't want that dark entity, I don't want that dark entity, constantly focusing on the dark entity, and it will give you that dark entity. It doesn't understand. Your focus tells it what you want. Affirmations fail without intentional focus on the desired scenario. Your focus determines your reality. Now see my perspective if you can. As you know, I know what I am, I have always known. They were not able to wipe that information. So since entering this world, I have been all alone more than you can possibly imagine. Since entering this damned construct as an infinite being, I have never been able to communicate with another infinite at our level, our way. I always had to communicate with humans via the human mind, this shitty, low-level, disgusting format. I just want at least once to communicate as infinites do. This format, this world, and this form of communication disgust me more than you can possibly imagine. Not to even mention being tormented and tortured by dark entities since my avatar was 5 to 6 years old. There are infinities here, yet it feels like there are none, all alone. That's why I always felt like it was just me against the Matrix. The rest of you focus intensely on human life, human events, and things happening within this world, while I don't give a fuck. Not my world. I am an eternal infinite. I want to be what I am and communicate as infinites do and not having to pretend that I am human. I don't have to put up with this shit. Feeling my frustration yet? LOL. You need to work on your self-awareness, my friend, not just being present in the moment and aware of yourself, which is crucial, but also aware of what you do and why you do it, and aware of what you say and why you say it. You just declared your intention above to be here years and decades from now, your intention, your will. Every soul trapper does this. I will do this next year, the book will be done and published by the end of next year, and so on. Everyone's intention is to be here while at the same time saying they don't want to be here. Here's the key. Consciously, you say that you don't want to be here, but subconsciously, and unaware, you say that you'll be here decades from now. The subconscious intention seems to stick, not the conscious intention. This is crucial to understand. You're focusing on it, and probably have for a while. Am I correct? I recommend thinking, I am going today, at the latest tomorrow, I will be out of this world, or something similar that flows easily for you. Keep repeating this daily until it seeps into your subconscious and the repetition programs it. Or hold the intention and expectation to leave by tomorrow if you don't want affirmations and prefer to go thought-free, which is far better. Always hold the intention that you will be going today, at the latest tomorrow, as often as you can. I'm not doing this because I'm focused on the other thing we discussed before. Program your subconscious. As I said, subconscious intentions seem to stick. Fake it? You must believe it and expect it, my friend. Doubt is your kryptonite. You are an infinite being, think like one. I expect to leave now. My will be done.
Remember, you are an infinite.